Hey, wagwan, what y'all deal with?
People still waiting, while the folks still hating. It's a new generation.
Yo, if you haven't seen this already, Amanda Seales went on a show called Surrounded on the Jubilee channel and debating 20 black conservatives. I mean, I don't know if y'all have seen the show, but kind of the structure of it is that one person who has an idea that is adverse to everybody else that is in the room gets in the middle of the circle and everybody bum rushes to shut this person down pretty much.
Damn!
This particular show was very interesting because with her calling herself a black radical, no matter what the official definition is supposed to be, people will always come up with their own representation.
Let's talk about that.
Stop.
Who do
You're
we vote
talking
for?
to a radical, not a Democrat. The radical mind state simply is living opposite to our colonizers. You don't want to hear the point that I'm going to make, and yet you want me to respect your point. And that's not how a debate works. If I show you respect, give me the respect back. Ooh, I knew I was going to be surrounded by ignorance, but that...
And this has been everywhere. I have seen so many different reviews of it. I've seen mass people sharing it and sharing their different ideas about it. So we're going to take a look at this today. I'm going to watch a part of this with y'all, and we are going to dig into this today, all right?
Greetings. I am Amanda Seales, widely known as a comedian, an actress, a disruptor, an annoying person on the internet who always tells the truth. And I am now an artistic intellectual who commits myself to making art that educates. And today, I am surrounded by 20 black conservatives.
Just with even just this intro, she doing a whole lot. And I can tell already, like, she's the type of person that I am going to pause everything that you're saying. I am going to just break into your every statement. But she better not interrupt me, though, because I'm going to have a fit. Like, I can tell already that's where we at with this.
My first claim is it is undeniable that reparations are just and necessary.
All right, reparations, fair, necessary. My question would be, who's going to get it? Why would they get it? And how long are we going to sit here focusing on trying to get reparations? It's been how many years since slavery? 150 years, 1865? Whenever there's a real thing that this country wants to do, they do it. Stop Asian hate. Okay, there's a problem with the Asian hate. Let's draft a bill, sign it, and it's done. Anything needs to be done is done. With us, it's a carrot they dangle in front of us that they don't really want to do. And it's not going to help. We need education. Oh, it's not going to help. No, it's not. We need education. Getting a check from the government is not going to do that. And we need proper education. A lot of us go to these institutions where we're not really prepared, we're not really focused, and we don't get things that'll help us in the real world. So if you want to help black people, a check from the government, from our tax dollars is going to get raised because, let's be clear, everybody in here is black. We all American, we all got to pay taxes. It'll go to that. So I don't really see how this is going to help us at all.
Okay. Well, first I'll start with it will help on even just a moral level. The reality is that the United States has become very comfortable with the fact that it does not consider black people equal. And it shows that in many ways that I'm sure we will discuss over the course of today. But ultimately, there has not been a committed, concerted effort to shifting the mindset around the use of black people as a labor force in this nation back when it was slavery, now in the use of slavery as slave labor in prisons. So they are an effort to say, our bad, we see you now. We have seen that done with Japanese folks who were put in internment camps. We have seen that done with Jewish folks. We have seen that done even in the case of slave owners who received reparations. When it comes to the use of tax dollars to pay reparations, and this is going to come up a lot to
here. Reparations, again, always dangling in front of us, never going to happen. As long as you've been living, as long as I've been living, as long as everybody been living, they say we need it, and it never gets done. One more piece.
You just said one more piece, then you're adding another one.
I promise.
So hold on to it. No, hold on to it.
I'm gonna land the plane. I'm gonna land the plane. I promise. Reparations is a thing. Like I said, it's a carrot they dangle in front of us. They're never really going to get it done. And if it was going to get done, it would have already been done. It's just something that they're using to try and make us stay Democrat. That's what I wanted to say.
Well,
'Cause
Democrats are not doing reparations either.
They're not.
This is nonpartisan. This is black partisan, baby. Okay?
Well,
this is nonpartisan.
Who do we vote for? Who do we vote for 93% of the time? There's no incentive.
To be quite honest, you're not talking to a Democrat. You're talking to a radical.
Okay, but
Let's land this plane very quickly.
Who do we vote for?
Let's land this plane quickly.
Who do we vote for?
You're talking to a radical, not a Democrat.
Okay, and you are your own person.
Let me tell you
who do
something
we vote
now.
for?
I don't know what they told you, but if they told you that cutting me off is how we're going to get clicks, stop it now. Stop it now.
Stop it now.
Debate.
A debate does not require continuously cutting somebody off.
All right, I'm so sorry.
done?
You've been voted out by the majority.
All right.
Please return to your seat.
I think there's a lot as it relates to that. And I think that, he did kind of touch on some of these things. Now, are reparations necessary in general? I would say at this point, to be honest with you, I think that there is a lot that has to be considered. I think that first of all, we as black people have to even figure out who we consider to be black people first. That's first. Another thing that I'm not gonna lie to you, just my politics in general as it relates to reparations, would it be nice if we just randomly received a lump sum of money from out of nowhere? Sure. I mean, who would turn that down? But is it likely at this point that we're going to receive reparations? I just don't see it. To be honest with you, that is like their last resort. But then let's look at it on this end also. Black people have been the recipients of government funding already for a long time. And it's kind of like, yeah, well, other races have been too. And it's like, yeah, but we're speaking specifically about black people. And if we're speaking about what black people have been able to get from the government, and I definitely think that black people have received a lot of funds from the government if we're looking at it from that perspective. So really, black people just want an apology? Is that what we want, an apology?
Okay.
My name is Matt Nuclear.
Hello, Matt. Matt Nuclear?
Matt Nuclear, yes.
Matt Nuclear, give me a better handshake than that. Let's
Thank
do
you.
it.
I
All right.
appreciate having this conversation with a beautiful black woman like yourself. This is nice, beautiful arena here. I disagree that reparations are necessary. I think the most important thing that's necessary right now for the black community would be the stopping of violence, especially black on black violence. I don't see how reparations is going to solve anything. You can give everyone here like a $50,000 check, especially people that are in the streets who are committing violent crimes consistently. A $50,000 check, it's not going to fix anything. It's not going to increase the median household income in the next 10 years by 10% or 20%. For example, we have the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. We prevented Chinese people from getting citizenship and even entering the country. We discriminated against them and basically put them under apartheid, even here in the United States. Yet they have the highest median household income. How is that possible? How come they don't complain and feel entitled consistently to beg for reparations and beg for this when they are killing each other 90% of the time, which is the rate that black people kill each other, according to the FBI?
Oh, young Matt.
Yet white people are the oppressors.
I'm not sure where your education came from, but they lied to you.
Stats don't lie, though.
Statistics lie all the time. So let's start there, particularly when the statistics are coming from the sources that gain from the statistics being shown a different way. So if you're going to start your argument on stats don't lie, you've already lost the argument. They lie all the time. One, comparing Chinese people who are immigrants that made a choice to come to the United States and comparing the continued effort of black people to ground themselves in a nation that continues to make impediments for them to show and live and exist in their true citizenship is a false equivalency.
I don't believe that happens at all. No one here is in.
Are you
being
acting
impinged on
right now?
anything.
Do you
I'm
really
not, I'm
believe
telling
this?
the truth. There's no systemic racism that I've experienced here in America. What system is racist? I think the only racism we've actually seen recently, systemic racism that we've seen, is the application of systemic racism against white people. The University of Western Washington, for example, has been trying to segregate dormitories, using black-only dormitories because black people feel safer amongst each other. But they're more likely to kill each other than white people are ever to kill them. That's just the truth. You have King Von rapping about killing other black men. Why should I think that the white man is the oppressor when black men are more likely to kill me?
Oh my
Tell me.
God, this is scary. You need to think about me as your mama. Do not talk to me in that fashion.
I just gotta say, before anything else, sis is wild. Okay, she knows she wild for that. Like, you just need to think of me as your mama. Like, you really just say that to somebody? Like, that's a level of disrespect that you try to use to check somebody, and Come on now. Don't be mad because he's using statistics and you don't see no use in the stats and the numbers and all of that shit. Don't be mad, okay? That's okay. Don't be trying to make it seem like, I'm older than you, so let's stop, okay? Don't do that. Don't do that when you're not winning, okay? Calm down. Tried to play Lil Bro a little bit. Now she asked him, like, are you faking? Like, are you acting right now? Like, first of all, I agree right off the rip of what he said. If you were to give reparations to people who are not financially sound at this point, who don't know what the fuck they doing with money. Now, first of all, before everybody come for me, no, I'm not saying that all black people don't know how to spend money. Come on now, I'm not saying that. I know we have black billionaires. I know we have black business owners. I know we have black entrepreneurs. I know we have all of this stuff, right? Absolutely. Hell yeah. We do have to look at, being able to have some sort of financial education that we can kind of apply as it relates to this. I don't necessarily agree that, like, we don't hardly have any racism now. What are you talking about? No, I think that there's definitely, racism that shows its face in a numerous different ways, right? Even though there is racism, even though there are these different obstacles and everything, we are still able to overcome them.
So there's simply no way to make the argument that there isn't systemic racism, and we have seen in very clear ways the system operate in an organically racist way. Do not cut me off. When we talk about systemic racism, we can start with even the fact that redlining, which was implemented to discriminate black communities. Are you shaking your head that redlining doesn't exist?
No, I'm saying I don't think it really existed at all. I mean, no, I don't think so at all.
So it does exist. And stating that it doesn't exist doesn't make it no longer exist. Redlining absolutely exists. It is not something that's being made up. It's an empirical fact. And there are realities that exist because of redlining. We know that school systems are related to the way that property taxes are affecting the school systems. If a school system is not getting the same property value as the property taxes allow it, then it's not going to have the same efficacy at allowing for students to be able to get what they deserve. When we talk about systemic racism, we have to acknowledge that these private prisons are literally built based on the test scores of school students in third grade. So if you are literally building prisons with the onset of, okay, if these people are not reaching a certain reading level, then we know that they're going to go down a prison industrial pipeline where we can use their free labor. Then how is that not systemic? And if you want to
stop them from entering prisons,
how are you going to stop people from entering prisons if your goal is to get them into prison?
Sure, make them try to be more like Ben Carson than be like King Von. That's very, very simple.
So how does King Von happen? How does King Von happen?
King Von
reparations.
Actually,
no, let me land the plane. Yeah. We're talking about reparations, and what you're doing is actually just trying to get this conversation off the facts. And the fact is, reparations are just and necessary because on a basic level, black people built this country, and the country continues to thrive off of the labor that black people put into this country. And it would behoove you, young man, to really understand the way that your ancestors put blood, sweat, and tears into this nation that is still living off of those blood, sweat, and tears. I hope some of y'all are acting. I really do.
It was like, nah, we gotta get bro out of here, okay? Because she gonna chew him up, okay? She not letting him get nothing in.
Oh, what's that on your chain?
This is coin from Israel.
Lord have mercy.
Yes, you gotta go.
That's a choice that you are making for yourself.
Yes. The thing with the whole reparations thing, and I don't know, we're probably close to the same age, so maybe you can't call me.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
I'm 44.
Oh, really?
He's like, just make sure you can't
That's
have
what water
like my
and keeping
mama.
stress out of your life will do.
Really? Mm-hmm. Liberal positions are real stressful.
By the way, I wouldn't know. I'm not a liberal. Carry on.
Well, it's the liberal position because conservatives believe in hard work. We believe in going to work and working for what you got, not asking for handouts from people who never had slaves. Some of the people that you're asking for money from never had slaves. And let's talk about the fact there were also black people that had slaves. So if you want to talk about that, how is that fair? If I'm a white person and my family fall on the side of the Union, why should I have to pay for slaves when this whole country was never all racist? Some of the founding fathers were abolitionists, and they hated slavery. And they actually put things in the Declaration of Independence and things too, because they believed that there would be a future where there would be a black president one day, or that there would be people in leadership that were black. There was people in the North who helped with the Underground Railroad and fought with the Union. So why is that fair for people who never had slaves, who fought against slavery, to have to pay for people that had slaves?
One, from my understanding, you are more interested in preserving the fairness of those who didn't have slaves than the fairness of those who are the descendants of slaves. That is priority to you than finding a fair way to accommodate those who have been the descendant of slaves.
Well, our ancestors wasn't asking for handouts. They were asking for equal opportunity. And we have equal opportunity in this country. We had a black president, just in case you didn't know. We had a black president and we had a black vice president. I think she was black. They said she was black. I don't know. What's making America so racist is people that continue to talk about racism and continue to focus on racism instead of focusing on unity and bringing our country forward. People that have this liberal mindset are infecting our communities, black people, and making us victims and not victors. I refuse to embrace a victim mentality because that's not what our grandparents and Harriet Tubman and those people fought for. They fought for equal opportunity.
Do not bring up Harriet Tubman's name in vain, baby, please.
They said the Lord's name in vain. The Lord's name.
Harriet Tubman was literally saving her family and others from slavery.
Yeah. You know who helped her? White people.
As black people, it is a touchy subject when somebody says that not all white people are racist or not all white people were slave owners, because it's like, nah, where you going with this? Hold on, slow your roll now. When you look at the whole concept of white supremacy, white people may not play a part in the whole thing. They may benefit from it, but it is important to note that all white people did not participate in slavery. Otherwise, there would not have been some that participated in the Underground Railroad. So that's true. However, I do think that it is a touchy subject as it relates to that. And to boldly and blatantly say it, I think that could have been why it came across like, oh, fam, hold on. Who you waving your flag for now? Wait a minute. So I can say that I totally agree as it relates to the victim mentality. I definitely think that as a people, we will sit around and victimize ourselves and, continue to victimize ourselves. When I say victimize ourselves, that don't mean that nothing happened to us, right? It absolutely did and does continue to happen to us. But I think at some point, we then have to say, what can we do about it?
You better preach it.
Because I definitely think that in staying inside of that victimhood energy, that's what you're going to continue to perpetuate.
Black culture is toxic. Damn! The black culture is toxic. We have produced a culture that is toxic. And let's get on the fact that there's no fathers in the black home. Let's talk about that.
Stop.
Let's talk about that.
Stop.
Let's talk about that.
None of this is gonna work if y'all are just gonna sit here and make up shit.
It's
not gonna work. No, it's a debate. Has to be in facts.
You're putting off emotional liberalism right now.
I am not putting off emotional liberalism. You're putting off unfounded lies based in conservatism.
Misinformation. Remember they did the misinformation thing all summer where everything conservative did. They said misinformation.
You're carrying a chain around your neck of an apartheid nation that actively wants to harm black people and non-Jewish people.
They about to get him up out of here.
Let me bring it back.
Selling black people in Africa.
That was not happening in the context that you're saying.
And they were selling their own people. Black people still sell their own people today too, by the way.
I don't know if I'm going to last.
We're selling our own people today too.
I don't know if I'm going to last.
You probably won't last with me.
I won't, because your ignorance is so overwhelming.
That's liberals. Y'all start name calling when y'all getting defeated in an argument.
You won't have an argument because you keep cutting me off.
Oh, well, that's fine if they don't let me come back on. I made my point. Reparations is not hard work. It's stealing. It's Robin Hood. But why should people who are sitting at home playing video games, smoking marijuana,
are you sitting at home playing a video game?
Turn to your seat.
I knew I was going to be surrounded by ignorance, but damn.
I'm going to say this, dude. She is the epitome of like somebody that is so annoying to have a conversation with because they get so self-righteous when they feel like somebody is not listening to them. But they have no intention of actually listening to actually hear what the person they talking talking to is saying. And is it just me? Conservatives do not play about people sitting around playing the video game and eating pizza. Every video that I've watched for people who are more conservative, anytime they talking about the laziest of the lazy scum of the earth, they always talk about people playing video games. Hey, listen, they said it, not me, okay?
My next claim is that black on black crime is a result of underinvestment and over-policing.
The scramble.
So you say that black on black
Like a
crime is due
congressman.
to underfunding and overpolicing, essentially.
Yes.
I actually don't necessarily disagree with one of those. Okay. I think that, however, the government, who do you think should be responsible for the funding piece of the black community? Should that be something that the government should step into, or should that be something that we as black people need to handle ourselves? Dr. Jordan Peterson and even Thomas Sowell and several others have stated one thing, that poverty and crime, there's a positive correlation. There's also a positive correlation in the black community of absentee fatherism. Black males that grew up without a father are 10 times more likely to engage in criminal activity. And so I think one of the...
Can I put a pin right there and ask you a question?
Ask me whatever you like.
What is the root cause of there being less fathers present?
Bad decision making on the part of the fathers. Our bad decision making, especially when we focus on the black community, is the root cause of fatherlessness.
What type of decisions?
Not marrying the women we decide to lay down and have children with. Not being careful with the seeds that we plant in women. No woman can get pregnant without a man planting his seed inside. 85% of our black children were growing up with a father in the home. There was less black on black crime. There was less disenfranchisement.
Why was there less black on black crime?
Because we needed to live together. We had to stick by each other. We had to stick
What
by
was
each
there
other.
also less of?
I'm not sure where you're leading. That's a leading question. I don't like
Right.
You don't like this?
I don't like leading questions.
Come on now, we
I like
see what you're
directions.
doing.
So essentially, when we were living in our own communities, we were also policing our own communities. So we were not being used as statistics in the same way to determine how resources were provided to our own communities.
Who's killed more black people, the Klan or us?
I would like to continue my statement. I let you speak uninterrupted.
You did.
When we talk about this concept of who is harming us, we are really making a false claim when it comes to black on black crime, as if there isn't white on white crime.
First of all, if he runs for mayor, I'm sure he would get voted in. When he said, who killed more of us? Was it the Klan or was it us? It's kind of like, I'm sure that the numbers that we have put in as far as killing each other have been further up than police brutality, have been further up than I ain't gonna touch no things as far as the Ku Klux Klan, because I don't think we even know the numbers of people that they killed. But our numbers is getting up there, unfortunately. However, I do like the point that he made as it related to black fathers being in the household. And I think that, we really have to kind of look at that as possibly a rise in the criminal, aspect as it relates to the black community, because I definitely say this, a lot of the time, the absence of fathers in, especially I would say in our young black boys, it definitely makes a difference. And it really makes it to where, you might see, them not have an example of black manhood outside of just, music videos and, different stuff like that, and what might make them go out to, commit these violent acts. So it's kind of like, I could see that as being an aspect.
There's also this unnecessary effort to try and pathologize black on black crime in a way that you don't try to pathologize white on white crime. There are white people killing each other every single day. Now, they may be on jet skis in the pictures after they shoot up their whole family, but nonetheless, there are white people killing each other every single day. Now, much of the reason why you may see more numbers in terms of black on black crime are for two reasons. One, the statistics be lying all the time. We have seen this.
Numbers? Okay, when you
we
say
have
that,
seen
no,
this
no,
in a real way.
but I have a
So in
question.
New Jersey.
When you say,
So in New Jersey.
What numbers can be trusted? Because with the previous speaker, you
I'm
said
about to
statistics all
tell
the
you
time.
right now.
Okay, so your sources can
You
be
can't
trusted.
such number. No, I'm literally about to give you an example of numbers not being able to be trusted.
Okay, talk to me.
That's what I was doing.
I'm listening.
Okay, then listen. And it was proven that they were lying.
So that's one. So that's one instance.
That's
Hold on.
one
No. You're
example.
talking to somebody that works as a police dispatcher when I'm not making content. So here's the thing.
I see.
No. You see what?
Well,
The truth is, you're about to see the truth if you just give me a second. Like Trump said, just give me a second. I'm going to do the weave, but give me a minute.
Well, here's
So
what
when
you all keep doing. You
just
keep
give me-
interrupting me when
Well,
I'm talking, and you don't want to hear the
But the
point that I'm
point
going to
you're-
make.
the point that
And
you're
yet you want
raising-
me to respect your point. And that's not how a debate works. So if you want me to keep getting louder, I will do it. But ultimately, if I show you respect, give me the respect back. I let you talk. I let you make your points. I am countering your points. And my points are just as valid as yours, even though you got a pocket square and a Church of Christ pin on your chest.
It's not a Church of Christ.
You're coming to interrupt me again.
I haven't even said a word.
It's a waste of my time. Y'all just want to be seen. I don't need to be seen. Hello.
How
nice.
are you? I'm
Yes,
Jasmine,
hair.
the pretty queen.
Lady.
Say less outfit. Okay.
Thank you.
So this is my thing. I think the premise of your question was black on black crime. So I think I'm coming from a place, and I guess my issue is having had my biological father murdered by a black man, having had my cousin shot in the head by a black man. We can talk numbers and statistics and what the people are doing and what the white man is doing and all that. But at the end of the day, I see when my family lives on the south side of Chicago, and I think you and I both can attest to this, and I'm not saying that there are not other factors, but we know that we kill each other at a disproportionate rate than any other race. Now, why we do that and why 6,000 to 9,000 black men are gonna be homicided or killed or whatever by the end of the year annually by other black men, whereas the likelihood of a black man being killed by a white police officer is less than 150 per year, we know that we kill each other at a higher rate. So I'm not debating that there are not factors at play, but because I've lived the experience as a black woman losing my father to be murdered by a black man walking down the street.
I'm sorry to hear that, by the way.
No worries, thank you. But walking down the street in inner cities and different things, knowing that it's more likely that my own brother will rob and rape me than a white man or a white officer, we gotta be real.
What's your proximity to white men? In the south side of Chicago? Are there even white men around to rob and rape you at the same rate that there are black men?
There are white men around.
At the same rate. What the fuck?
There wasn't a lot of black people in there, but then that doesn't justify the fact that we're destroying each other. So even if we get to the root, like
we can agree on that.
Okay, because I feel like a lot of
nothing
times liberals will argue
justifies.
like, well,
I'm not
the
a
white people
liberal.
are killing
I am
people.
I'm not a liberal.
Okay, well, I will say that people that sometimes have your stance that are against conservatives, maybe they have this claim that they're making it up. They're making up the numbers. We know that we do that to each other. So I want to get to the root of the issue. Why are we killing each other? I think the root of the issue is we've lost our values and we've lost our resilience as black people. We sit there and we talk about what the white man did and we talk about slavery and everything like that, but we have no self-accountability and say, you know what, at the end of the day, that is my black grandmother, that is my black sister, you are my black sister, and you know that a black man is more likely to rob you or commit some type of crime against you, and that's what we need to get down to the issue of. And like you were talking about earlier, like, hey, well, what's going on? You know, what do you think the answer is to one of the brothers that were speaking? I think it's the breakdown of the family. I think, like he said, because of our poor choices, and what happens is we look at domestic violence, for example. When domestic violence, women or men are even attacked, what is the first thing we say? It's like, you know what? It's not your what? It's not your fault. So that's what we do. We hold on to this narrative that, well, it's not our fault and the issues in our community, they're not our fault, and the white man needs to give us something. The old white lady down the street is looking at me and I don't know why she got braids in her hair, and we focus on all these other stupid things that don't matter. We don't get to the root of the fact that we're killing each other at a higher rate than any other race. It is self-hatred amongst us. I believe that we can do that, that we, my mom's cousin, coming from the church parking lot, and guess who stuck her up and robbed her at gunpoint? A black man.
I need you to get to the point.
Like,
so
my
I can
point
respond.
is that, no, and I'm not trying to be funny, unless, like you said, we're going to keep it respectful.
Yeah,
so
but you're monopolizing the whole conversation. And
I'm
we're
not
not
trying,
being
okay, I'm
able
going to let
to
you speak, but let's not get the
Yes.
attitudes and stuff, because you're my sister and I respect you. So
I
how
don't
you
have
talk
an
to
attitude.
them,
I'm being direct
but
to
how
you. But
talk
you're
to them,
literally
not gonna
speaking
talk
this,
to me.
and you're not going to do
Okay.
that with me either.
Okay,
so you're
I'm
stating your
respecting
point,
you.
and you've been stating your point for quite some
So
time.
say
Do you have
the
a
proper
reason
ways,
for
would
me
you
to
like,
respond?
would you allow me to respond? So that's a better response. Go ahead.
Bring it back now. Bring it back. All right, love you, black woman. Okay, we doing this, but come on now, don't do this. All right, just make a show.
My next claim is systemic racism isn't a theory. It's our lived reality backed by data and history.
Ooh, I've been waiting on Bro to get up here.
Hello, John Samuel. First name, first name. All right.
Blame my parents.
Hi, parents.
I want to listen to you first. Why do you feel that? Why do you feel that way? Why do you feel
John went to debate training before he came here. Okay. Ultimately, I feel that way because it's simply just facts. It's in the books, and that's why there have been laws to challenge it. There have been innumerable instances where actual systems were created specifically for the impediment of Black people to advance. We have also seen innumerable instances where there were things created for Black people to advance, and they were taken back under the auspices of, we don't want them to advance. Ultimately, systemic racism exists in our institutions on a government level, in our institutions, whether it's prisons or schools, and it is undeniable because they are actively trying to reinstate it right now.
Can you give me an example of one of those systems that you believe perpetuates that cycle of racism?
Redlining.
Redlining? Okay.
Yes.
And how does that can you elaborate? Like, how is that affecting the Black community?
Do you know what redlining is?
I know a little bit. I'm not an expert.
Redlining was a system that was created to determine property values, and that said Black people can only live in certain neighborhoods and not in other neighborhoods. And the redlining lowered the property values of those Black neighborhoods by stating that they were more savage, that they were more dangerous, etc.
Problem I guess I have with systemic racism is, I guess for somebody like me, where my family comes from, the Deep South, you probably don't even know it, Aliceville, Alabama.
Okay.
That's where my grandparents are from. And my grandpa came, if you saw the house that he grew up in, I'm not trying to be funny, it looked like a slave house. It was just, they grew up in poverty. And the fact that he was able to go from that and get the highest rank enlisted in the United States Navy amidst, all these, systems, so to speak, and he was able to buy his own house out in San Diego. He was able to, pass on these things to his son, my dad, and his grandchildren. Now I'm able to get an education. I was able to get my undergrad, my master's. But I just think these days, when we call it systemic racism, really what we're calling it is those people who may still be in those institutions, those individual people who may actually be racist and hold some racist ideals, who are continuing to perpetuate. The problem is not the systemic racism. The problem is us. It's nonsensical.
Who's running the systems?
Like which system? You're talking about
Whether
Congress,
it's the prison
government?
whether it's the prison industrial complex. We're seeing this now with
Right.
With immigration and ICE. We're seeing this also with the effort at not making schools available for equal level of schooling available with the voucher systems that are now allowing tax dollars to allow people to go to segregated schools.
Right.
Who is controlling those systems? So for instance, in Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
So in Tennessee, you have a Senate and a House of Representatives that is largely controlled by white Republicans, and that have actively said, we are not going to consider what the people want in our constituencies. We are going to simply just do what we want to do, to the point where they have removed.
So it's only in those states that have largely white legislators or largely white people are controlling these systems. I'm not trying to put
All right,
words in your
guys,
mouth.
I'm so sorry. You have been voted out. Please return to your seat.
Thank you.
So this whole thing is about an hour and a half long, so we're not gonna go through the whole thing. As a matter of fact, I'm only kind of showing y'all some of the most significant arguments that everybody was making, but I am gonna put the link in the comments. So if anybody wants to kind of watch the whole thing, I am gonna have the video in the comments, right? But what did y'all think about that? I mean, that was a trip. I definitely feel like, as somebody who has studied the art of debate, I am like, oh my gosh, she literally just sat here and just was so irritated with everybody and was not listening to nobody's point and argued her way through this whole thing. I felt like there was a lot of good points made all around. I felt like some of the points that was made, because we're dealing with Black conservatives, and let's be honest, conservatives are a lot more blunt than everybody else. So a lot of the points were very like, ooh, I wouldn't have said it like that. But however, sometimes it just needs to be said like that. You know what I'm saying? So all of those definitely were a lot of very strong points in this whole thing. But I feel like, sometimes you just got to crack the cookie, okay? But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Man, this is definitely an interesting one, okay? So let me know what y'all think about this one.
I don't need no negativity around me. High frequency.